Hello and welcome to Chabot News for April 18th, 2024. My name is Evan Netto and today we'll be covering COVID relief, the recent solar eclipse, and upcoming layoffs in the Bay Area. In entertainment news, Cabrera will tell you about Lady Gaga starring in the new Joker movie. And finally, in sports news, India Richardson has the latest updates on the Chinese Grand Prix. All that and more coming up in today's edition of the Chabot News. Federal authorities are making sweeping progress in arresting those who stole COVID-19 pandemic relief funds and then prosecuting them. The U.S. Justice Department said its COVID-19 fraud enforcement task force has seized nearly $1.5 billion in stolen funds. More than 3,500 people have reportedly been charged with federal crimes related to COVID relief fraud, totaling more than $2 billion. Prosecutors have also reached over 400 civil settlements and judgments in their investigation. U.S. Attorney General Merrick Garland issued a statement saying the work is not over and that they will continue to investigate and prosecute these crimes. The solar eclipse is come and gone, but what about your eyesight? If you looked at last week's solar eclipse without proper eye protection, you might be concerned about eye damage and you might be screwed. According to the Adler Planetarium, looking at the sun without the right eyewear can cause irreversible damage within a matter of seconds. So, if you didn't heed those warnings, here's what you need to know. Symptom of eye damage may not appear for hours. The American Academy of Ophthalmology says it could take 12 hours for symptoms to appear. They range from blurry visions to headaches. You can also experience blind spots, distorted vision, and changes to the way you see color. If your eyes are feeling strained, experts say it could be temporary, but you still need to visit an eye doctor to learn the extent of any possible damage. We sent our reporters out onto campus to ask if any of the students saw the eclipse and what they thought about it.
No, I did not see the eclipse.
I tried to. I went outside with my friends at the gym, and I tried to. We looked at it, but obviously you couldn't see anything, so technically not. But I saw a lot of videos and pictures of it.
I did not see the eclipse myself. My astronomy teacher did, because I'm in a class this year, and they showed pictures of it from them actually going to, I think, Texas. So that's the only side I fully got of it.
No, I was pretty busy with other things, but I did heard about it, and people went outside with specific glasses just to see like the eclipse itself, but yeah, I sadly missed it.
No, I haven't.
So you did not see the eclipse?
I didn't see any eclipse.
Have you ever seen an eclipse?
Not recently, no.
Do you ever plan on seeing an eclipse?
Hopefully soon.
You got 40 more years for the next one. All right, I'll be back in 40 years.
All right.
All right.
I didn't see the full thing. It just only was covered by like a quarter of it, so it was still cool though, cool experience, because I never really witnessed a solar eclipse, especially putting on the glasses with around so many people. I saw it through the telescope too, and I thought it was cool. I liked it. I enjoyed it.
I have actually. I was at home with Mom watching it with my dad too.
Yeah, I did watch the eclipse last month. Yeah. I watched it from my backyard. I'm doing welding as well, so I have a welding mask. So I was able to see the partial eclipse on the sun through my welding mask.
Thanks, Don. Solar eclipses happen approximately twice a year, but you have to be lucky enough to live in an area where it's visible. The next eclipse that you will be able to see from California is not until 2045. Now we're going to be switching over to Cabrera for this week's look at entertainment news.
If you enjoyed watching the Netflix documentary Harry and Meghan, there's some good news for you. The duo just signed to executive produce 2 new shows for the streaming giant. Netflix says 2 non-fiction series will be on lifestyle and the game of polo. The first will be curated by the Duchess of Sussex herself, Meghan. The show will highlight cooking, gardening, entertaining, and friendship. The second series will focus on the game of polo, which Prince Harry plays. Netflix says the show promises to deliver unprecedented access into the world of polo. The streamer will announce the release dates for the shows in the coming months. Lady Gaga is making her long-awaited debut as Harley Quinn in the Joker sequence. Joker, Folie à Deux will star Lady Gaga alongside Joaquin Phoenix, who's reprising his Oscar-winning role as the title character. The trailer dropped Tuesday. It shows the villainous pair waltzing around the street, dodging explosions and running from mobs. As a haunting rendition of the classic song, What the World Needs Now Is Love plays in the background, Joker Folie à Deux will premiere in theaters on October 4th. Beyoncé has made history with her new country album. We sent our reporter Paula out on campus to ask students their thoughts about her achievement on the album.
And have you watched the new trailer to the Joker movie?
I have.
Yeah?
I have.
What's your perspective on it?
I really like it. I'm very interested considering the Harley cast mainly, because Gaga, simply because we've had the same kind of Harley for like so many shows and movies. I'm very interested in the take. It's not bad. I'm really excited for it in honesty.
Okay. Have you heard of the rumors that like it might be a musical?
Yes, I have, and that also gets me excited for it. I think you could see something really good from it.
Okay.
Something considerable to the stair scene in the first movie, I think would be really awesome.
I mean, I've seen Lady Gaga in Fortnite, so she's making her way to the movies. That's kind of crazy, but pretty cool.
Well, considering that I've heard that it's a musical, I find it really fitting that Gaga has a role in it. Of course, it could be any other actress who's musically talented. I don't know, I just feel that the theme of Harley Quinn kind of fits Gaga in a very strange way. I mean, she's got a pretty non-conformative personality.
It makes sense that Gaga would be doing it, but like I think she'd do a really good job as Harley Quinn. Yeah. It suits her nice.
Thanks, Paula. You may have heard of a TV show called The Glory Hole, started by one of Chabot College students and filmed here on campus. Our reporter, Robert Knox, sat down with Mr. O'Shea to find out more.
Have you ever wondered where the important field of radio and TV broadcasting can take you? Most alumni have landed in very famous radio stations and TV stations around the Bay Area. But one alumni has taken his creativity and formed his own path.
Second best is just a sin. It's all or nothing.
This is Dave O'Shea. Mr. O'Shea has been taking television techniques classes at Chabot College for quite some time, gaining everything he has learned from Chabot College instructor Tom Lothian. Mr. O'Shea's talent and creativity holds no limits as he created his own show with a very racy and raunchy name called The Glory Hole. I had the pleasure and liberty of sitting down with Mr. O'Shea so he could tell us about his show, what's coming up next, and the challenges he had to face to keep it going.
It started in the Chabot television course 2017, I want to say, maybe 2016. And it was the final project for, I think, my first semester. And it was make a 20-minute talk show. So I thought this is a good opportunity to make some weirdness, confuse some people, and took off from there.
Nice. And you said you just finished the second season.
Yeah, after many years. So the first season was 2017 to 2019, I want to say. And then took a little break. Obviously the pandemic screwed us all up, and just took a long hiatus that we didn't want to do. But it ended up benefiting the show because having all that extra time and not much to do, I was rewriting and coming up with better ideas.
With YouTube cracking down on censorship, creators have no wiggle room in order to blur the lines of ethics if it does not follow YouTube guidelines.
Funny you bring up YouTube.
Yeah.
Because they kicked me right the fuck off. Right before I was about to launch season 2. As a matter of fact, I was putting a bunch of best of season 1 mini clips, like 2 to 5 minute little, random little bits from the first season. I did 30 something of them, and literally one morning I wake up that the channel has been terminated.
Mr. O'Shea, like many YouTubers, have gotten their channel deleted because of censorship.
0 strikes, zero explanation other than they said I violated their sexuality guidelines. So that's pretty vague.
But despite YouTube's minor setback, you can still catch Dave's show streaming on Vimeo as well as local TV channels.
And it's still on the air Friday nights at 11 p.m. Channel 28 in the Hayward area. And,
Thank you all for tuning in. This is Robert Knox reporting for Chabot News.
Season 2 is coming out soon. Stay tuned to KCMC 28 or vimeo.com/thegloryhole. I'm Diana Cabrera. Now back to you, Evan.
Thanks, Diana. A high-profile Bay Area coding school has been sanctioned by federal authorities for allegedly deceiving students. Bloom Tech, a for-profit coding school, has been accused by the Consumer Financial Protection Bureau, also known as the CFPB, of lying to students about loan costs and graduates' hiring rates. According to the CFPB, Bloom Tech falsely claimed that its so-called income share agreements were not loans and did not create debt, when in fact they had an average finance charge of $4,000. The CFPB also alleged that Bloom Tech misled students by claiming that graduates have an 86% job placement rate, when in reality the rates were around 50%. As part of the sanctions, the school was banned from all consumer lending, and its CEO, Austin Allred, was banned from all student loan activities for 10 years. Both Allred and the school have agreed to the sanctions, but have yet to admit any wrongdoing. Hayward's annual Cinco de Mayo celebration will return Saturday, May 4th at the intersection between B Street and Main Street. The fun starts at 10 a.m. with musical and dance performances, including various Ballet Florosio groups and Mariachi Los Halcones de Oakland, followed by a series of live performances, including Third Soul and the Prieto and the Mirage Band. This free, family-friendly event is being hosted by La Alianza de Hayward and is made possible by title sponsor One Subaru of Hayward, with the support of the City of Hayward, the Hayward Chamber of Commerce, and an array of other businesses, community organizations, and community leaders as well. In addition, there will be car, bicycle, and pedal car shows, arts and crafts, food and beverage vendors, and much, much more. Registration for the car show is $30 and $10 for the bicycle and pedal car shows. For more information, including a complete list of cultural acts, sponsors, and vendors, go to the event page on the La Alianza de Hayward website, La Alianza, that's ALIAZNZA, dehayward.com/Cinco de Mayo. Next up is sports news with India Richardson.
Thanks, Evan. Wednesday, O.J. Simpson died from prostate cancer at age 76. His family announced his passing on social media. They said he was surrounded by his children and grandchildren. The former NFL star and broadcaster's athletic achievements brought him fame, but as CNN's Stephanie Elam reports, they were eclipsed by his 1995 acquittal and the brutal killings of his ex-wife Nicole Brown Simpson and her friend Ron Goldman, and several run-ins with the law afterward.
O.J. Simpson soared to fame as number 32 for the Buffalo Bills.
I'm sorry for all of it.
And plummeted to infamy as inmate number 1027820 in the Nevada Department of Corrections. In between, Simpson led a life filled with more surreal drama than all of his various film and TV projects combined.
O.J., you're come on.
Mass media experts say Simpson's sensational televised low-speed chase,
I have O.J. in the car,
arrest and murder trial
doesn't fit, you must acquit,
stand as the first reality show, and perhaps the greatest three-ring television phenomenon ever. At one point, the world heard O.J. Simpson's ex-wife, Nicole Brown Simpson, say,
I don't want to stay on the line, he's going to beat the shit. Wait a minute.
Then later, Simpson was charged with the horrific murders by knife of Nicole and her friend Ron Goldman.
Ron and Nicole were butchered.
The trial made lawyers and even witnesses household names.
Orenthal James Simpson, not guilty of the crime of murder.
When the jury freed Simpson, celebration erupted in parts of Los Angeles. But Simpson would never recapture his idol status. Simpson first sprinted into the national spotlight as the Heisman Trophy-winning running back at the University of Southern California. Then 11 spectacular years with the NFL vaulted him to the Pro Football Hall of Fame. Simpson cashed in on the popularity. Go, O.J., go! Becoming a pitchman for Hertz and an actor. Becoming well known for the Naked Gun movies.
O.J. Simpson, as you've never seen him before.
Simpson played a lawman on screen and ran into trouble with the courts off screen. He lost the multi-million-dollar wrongful death suit brought by the families of his ex-wife and Ron Goldman, then moved to Florida. In 2000, Simpson was accused of assault in a road rage incident in Miami. He was found not guilty. In 2005, he was found guilty and fined for stealing satellite television. Then in 2007 in Las Vegas, police arrested him on several felony charges, including kidnapping and armed robbery. In that case, Simpson and armed accomplices raided a hotel room in what he called an attempt to just get back some of his stolen belongings.
And I didn't know I was doing anything illegal. I thought I was confronting friends and retrieving my property.
The Nevada jury never bought his story and instead sent him to prison. He was released on parole 9 years later in the dead of night with no fanfare and no bright future. Just the distinction of arguably the greatest rise and fall in pop culture history.
Simpson's family has asked for privacy during this time. The Chinese Grand Prix is the first event in 2024 to feature a sprint race. That means there is only one free practice in Shanghai, immediately followed by qualifying for the sprint race. The sprint race will be held on Saturday. From this season, there has been a change. Qualifying for the Grand Prix is now after the sprint race. When the world first started to take note of a pneumonia outbreak in the Chinese city of Wuhan in early 2020, the Chinese Grand Prix was called off in February. A necessary precaution, perhaps as the unknown disease would prove to be a coronavirus that would shut down the world within weeks. But the first Formula One race to fall victim to COVID-19 is also the last to return, which it will be when the paddock turns up to the Shanghai International Circuit this weekend. That race was the 1,000th World Championship Grand Prix, and this weekend's is 1,106. But just how much has it changed in the last 105 races? I'm India Richardson. Now, back to you, Evan.
Thanks, India. The Bay Area is being hit with even more layoffs. The layoffs span several industries, affecting employees of Lockheed Martin as well as smaller companies Hinge Health and Coherent. Hinge Health, a company that provides online physical therapy, is seeing the most jobs lost, with 77 jobs being cut in San Francisco. Lockheed Martin isn't far behind and is slated to slash 68 jobs in Sunnyvale and Palo Alto. Hinge, a company that produces semiconductor equipment, will be cutting 61 jobs in Santa Clara. The layoffs are all scheduled to happen in June, with Lockheed Martin and Coherent laying off their staff on June 10th, and Hinge Health doing the same a day later. This April alone, tech companies have announced plans to cut 949 Bay Area jobs. Now it's time for this week's Top 5 with Paula Katakatika.
Thanks, Evan. My name is Paula Katakatika, and today I will be sharing with you my top 5 favorite boy groups in K-pop. Starting with number 5, we have Monsta X, who debuted in 2015 with their song Trespass. Although half of the members are in the military, certain members like Im Chang-kyun are active for fans to enjoy. I personally listened to Im Chang-kyun's song Lure from his third solo album called Off the Beats, which is perfect for a late night drive. At number 4, I'm going with EXO. They may be the oldest group I would be talking about, but within the 12 years in the industry, it does not stop them from creating more music. Like main vocalist Dio has many solo songs, albums, and OSTs for Korean shows. A favorite song I have from Dio is Somebody. For number 3, it's GOT7. Just like in their name, this multi-talented and multinational group has 7 members. Though all are currently doing solo activities, doesn't mean that fans are not getting content. In recent reports, one of the members had announced they have finished an album to release in the near future. At the number 2 spot is P1 Harmony. Many K-pop fans would consider them a coffee group as they made their debut in late 2020 with their song Siren. Their latest comeback, Killin' It, had become their gateway to the first win on Korea's national music show, Music Bank, earlier this year. Their hip-hop and dance beat styles are certainly placing them in the charts. And the group that is number 1 spot is 17. A 13-member group has been busy with stadium tours in Korea and Japan since the start of 2024. They recently had announced a comeback called 17 is Right Here. Early in January, they had won an Album of the Year at the Golden Disc Award with their album named FML. This award is special to the group as they have been working tirelessly for the past 9 years. And that wraps up my top 5. I'm Paula Katakatika. Now back to you, Evan.
Thanks, Paula. On April 7th, 36-year-old Hayward resident Angelo Tollardo was arrested and charged for a fatal hit-and-run that occurred September 6, 2023 near Mission Boulevard and Orchard Avenue. On the night of the incident, officers responded to a report of a hit-and-run involving a vehicle and a cyclist. Officers arrived on scene and found the cyclist unconscious and suffering from injuries related to the collision. The cyclist, later identified as 55-year-old Hayward resident Christopher Pena, was transported to a local medical facility where he died. The driver of the involved vehicle fled the scene at high speeds prior to the officers' arrival. It was believed that the driver was the sole occupant inside the car at the time of the collision. Witnesses described the vehicle as a gray, early to mid-2000s model Mercedes E350 with silver 5-spoke rims. The vehicle was believed to have major front and passenger side damage as a result of the collision. On September 14, 2023, the vehicle believed to be involved in this collision was recovered after it had been altered, set on fire, and abandoned. It was also determined that the recovered vehicle had previously been reported as stolen. As the investigation continued, traffic officers identified Tollardo as the man they believed to be responsible for the fatal hit-and-run of Pena. A criminal complaint warrant was issued by the Alameda County District Attorney's Office for Tollardo, and on April 7th, Tollardo was taken into custody. Tollardo has been charged with vehicular manslaughter and felony hit-and-run. Chief Matthews issued a statement on the matter, saying, "I would like to extend my deepest appreciation to our dedicated Traffic Bureau for their hard work, commitment, and diligent efforts in identifying, locating, and apprehending the man believed to be responsible for this tragic incident. Their perseverance has been instrumental in bringing justice for Mr. Pena and his family." That was the Hayward Police Chief, I should have added. This is still an active investigation, and anyone involved with information is asked to contact the Traffic Bureau at 510-293-7169. The Hayward Police Department case number is 2023-50676. That's all for Chabot News this week. Thanks to all the students and staff in the Mass Communications Department here at Chabot College for making this production possible. You can watch us anytime online at youtube.com/ChabotTV. Stay tuned to KCTH Channel 27 on Comcast for more Chabot TV.